Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. This is another session, this time a little bit different because I'm far away, but far away these days is not so far because we're right here. And I have a guest to introduce to you today. Good morning, Paulina. Paulina Derbez. Paulina Derbez is Mexicana, but she lives for many years in Toronto, in Canada. And she's a violin player. She's a professional violin player. Her sister, by the way, is a composer, so the whole family is very musical. And Paulina has several specialties apart from just being a performer, which is already, as you know, hard enough to achieve. She's already author, a book author, and the name of her book is El Músico Consciente, the conscious musician.
Yeah.
He's as well the president of the Red Mexicana de Conservatorios Saludables, which you could translate as the network of healthy conservatories. And this is an association or an institution in alliance with the British Healthy Conservatories. Welcome, Paulina. It's a big pleasure to have you here with us. And I'm very much looking forward to everything that you have for us.
Thank you, Alex. It's just it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
I forgot something.
Yeah.
You are also a certified mentor of HeartMath, which
Yes.
is one of the main things we want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're going to talk about heart intelligence and how can we apply those tools in our daily practice in performance. And later I will talk about a meditation I created. And it's a meditation based on the heart focused breath, and it's also based on those 5 minutes before a performance, because we all know the feeling of those 5 minutes before. Yeah, exactly. So it's I'll talk about that.
Okay. So, and for everybody who has never heard about that, heart math, we mean our heart, and math, M-A-T-H. So this is your stage. Please go ahead.
Good, excellent. So before we dive in, I'm just going to share a video to have an idea what is, HeartMath. So here we go.
The HeartMath tools and techniques really help you access the intelligence of the heart so we can make better choices in the moment and really navigate these stressful times. What we hear from people across the world, across all professions, is that stress, anxiety, and overwhelm are really out of hand. And a lot of this is due to so much change that's happening. And the way our brains work, we don't like change. Humans do not like change, especially unexpected change or change that we're not in control of. And as it turns out, one of the most effective ways to really reduce stress and anxiety and even feelings of overwhelm is to learn how to access the intelligence of the heart and shift the rhythms of the heart, which sends a different neural message to the brain. So one aspect of our research is really focused on developing simple, practical, user-friendly tools and techniques that allow people to really manage their stress. So a lot of people, probably even today, if you think about it, have had a situation where you were being told to do something or you wanted something, but there was a deeper sense or a deeper feeling that it's probably not the best choice. So that's what I mean by that lack of alignment. And that can really be a huge source of stress for people until they learn how to really get the alignment between the heart and brain, which is where coherence comes in. That's when the heart, mind, and emotions are aligned and working together harmoniously. Our basic research done here at the HeartMath Research Center focused more on the physiology of how the heart and brain communicate. Interestingly, a lot of people are surprised to learn that the heart sends more information through the nervous system to the brain than the other way around. And that sounds like some new discovery, but it's not. This has actually been known since the late 1800s. It's basic physiology. But this is important because the quality of these signals sent from the heart to the brain have profound effects on brain function, our mental clarity, even our emotional experience. So the brain is largely interpreting the signals from the heart to create how we feel. So this is why we focus on the heart so much, because if you can shift the rhythms of the heart, you can quickly improve brain function, reduce feelings of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and so on. But it takes a different doorway, the heart. So the HeartMath tools and techniques are really designed to shift the rhythms of the heart, which changes the ascending information from the heart to the brain, which is absolutely necessary in order to establish a new baseline. And without establishing a new baseline, we really can't, it's impossible to have sustained change or improvements in our health, in our emotional experience. So when we get our systems coherent and have the alignment between heart and brain, that's really when we access that deeper intuition that we have within, inner guidance. So we have a new sense of clarity in a lot of decisions that can seem complex otherwise.
So yeah, we see what HeartMath helps is shift the rhythms of the heart. We're going to talk about that later. Create more resilient baseline, and this could be regarding performance, and sustain a positive behavioral change. Let's stop sharing here. Excellent. Any questions, Alex?
No, I'm aware. I'm aware of that. I think for most of the students, this is probably the first time that they hear about it, because in science or in popular science, the focus is usually the brain.
Yes.
And this is what makes this talk so special. And just for you, the students at this point have gone very deep into meditative techniques, from very physical mindfulness techniques, which are based on breathing exercises, of watching the breath. They've become very conscious observer of the mind activity, and also of the emotional drift off.
Yes.
I'm sorry, my email is clinging in the background. University reality, clinging with another email. So and they have learned three ancient techniques from a very ancient meditation path to go beyond movement. So what we're talking about today, I like this very much, brings us back to a physical function of the body, which the heart is.
Exactly.
So and it embraces everything else that we have done through experience. So we're not completely on zero here.
Yeah, for sure, and that can enhance already what they have achieved with you, which is amazing, really amazing. That they can experience the power of meditation and apply that to performance and daily practice.
Which is exactly where we're at in the seminar right now. To how do we apply this, what we have learned, to the practical being on stage, or what you just mentioned, those scary 5 minutes right before you go on stage.
Exactly. So that's exactly. So HeartMath Institute, I think it's already 30 years that they have been studying, the intelligence of the heart, and they have discovered that the heart is 5,000 more powerful, like 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. The heart has its own nervous system, and also what happens, like, for example, with emotions, right? The emotions create an electromagnetic field that can go around 3 feet around us. So that's where emotions play a really important role in terms of affecting the heart rate variability of the heart. So what we can achieve with HeartMath tools is create more resilience, which means prepare for an event, recover from an event, or adapt in the face of a stress. It means that if something happens, if we apply one of the HeartMath techniques, we are able to center ourselves again and come back to our harmonious state. Now, in terms of the physiology, what happens if we have a stressful situation, that creates incoherence in the heart. So the heart rate variability is incoherent. That incoherence is going to send a specific sign to the amygdala, and then the amygdala is going to send a sign to the body that you are under stress, you are in a dangerous place, right? And that could be the famous stage fright. You are not even in the moment where you're thinking about that, right? Creates stress in your heart, and it's going to send that signal to the brain. But
let me just chime in very short. So you remember, for the students, the amygdala is one of the, it's not an organ, one of the glands in the brain which processes perception of stress or of whatever environmental happenings, and connected to the nervous system, the vagus nerve, for instance, which then manifests this perception into a body reaction. So the amygdala is one of the main, how you call that? You don't call it organ. It's not
Like
a gland
gland.
either.
Gland. Yeah,
It's
and it's not
a
an
gland.
organ. It's a gland. Yeah, very, very small.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
like the, you know, like the frontal cortex or the hypothalamus, the amygdala, this is when you go deeper. But that's why this is very important, because everything we have done works because of this process.
Exactly, exactly. And I think it's beautiful. Once we discover the power that lies within our hearts, right? We can really have an impact in our lives, and not just in our performance, but in our everyday life, everyday situation. It's very important to mention the electromagnetic field of the heart. Maybe to some of some of the students have happened that they enter to a room and they kind of feel like, oh, I don't like the vibe here, right? It's because the electromagnetic field that the people that is in the room are, están emitiendo, no? That they are giving that electromagnetic field based on their emotions. On the other hand, you might enter another room and you feel great because the people there have a different electromagnetic field. So this is what the magic happens. We can change our state of being. We can change our electromagnetic field, and that is going to have an impact in our performance. Now, I know we're just talking about heart intelligence. I'll talk a little bit about the methodology of the conscious musician and what they can also, try once we do the heart focus breath. Once you come into coherence in your heart, what is going to happen is that your brain waves are going to go from beta to alpha. So when the brain waves are in alpha, as I think they know, you are more creative, more receptive, more centered. When you are in that state, what you can try is apply the visual motor rehearsal of a piece or an extract of the piece, right?
Could you say that again? I didn't hear to apply what?
When you do the heart focus breath work, which we are gonna do later, that is gonna create an alpha state in our brains. I mean, the waves in our brains are gonna go to alpha. In that state, we are more present, we are more creative. When we are in that state, we visualize, we apply the visual motor rehearsal, which means we see ourselves playing as we want to play in our mind, but very clear. It has to be very clear, like the sound, the intentions, the breathing, everything. So once you are in that state, visual motor rehearsal, and that with time is going to have a huge impact in your playing. Now, like everything, and as Alex know, like meditation, you do it every day, right? So you do have to do these techniques every day to have a real impact in your life. Now, coming back to heart intelligence, I'm gonna share something.
So this is also, and just to chime in also, that is the reason why we perceive a group meditation so impactful. It's not only because everybody is silent, but it's because we do change, well, the physics of our bodies, and they interconnect.
Exactly. It's amazing. Like once you're in a group meditation, what it happens is, because you are getting into a center place and you're affecting your electromagnetic field, and because it's a lot of people, right, that have that impact in the room, you can really change also even the biology of the person that is meditating. talking about that, I'm gonna just quickly, because I know we don't have much time, but there has been a lot of experiments with HeartMath. One of them is that this study, there were 4 people in a room. 3 people were doing the HeartMath techniques. The 4th people wasn't doing anything. Then they do, all the research and put all the, I don't know how they call it, but they put all the in the brain, how they put I don't know the name for that. Anyhow, what they discover is that because these 3 people were doing heart focus breath, that had an impact on the 4 people that wasn't doing that, and that created a coherence in his heart. Mm-hmm. So that is powerful. Is that powerful? As well as meditation is very powerful in this sense. Heart intelligence very powerful. So very quickly. So we can see here what happens, right? If we feel an emotion like frustration, this passage is it's just getting anywhere. Irritation, I'm that's it. Impatience or worried about a performance, for example, right? You worry having a performance or exam or whatever. This is going to have an impact in your heart rate variability, and it's going to create incoherence. We can see here, right? How incoherent it gets. Now, all emotion creates incoherence in the heart and then inhibits brain function, impairs performance, so affects your performance very much. It's like, for violinists, right? We know that feeling of the bow, like vibrato in the bow, right? Because we are worried, we create incoherence, and that has an impact in the brain. On the other hand, if we do like a heart focus breath or quick coherence, we invoke an emotion like appreciation, calm, patience, confidence, and see the difference. How beautiful is this? A nice, coherent heart, right?
Is this something that we can perceive? Yes. We perceive how our heart rate fluctuates?
We can, before I respond to that, when we are coherent, then we facilitate brain function and promotes optimal performance. So I'm going to talk about the grid, and that's where it's going to be the answer to your question, Alex. Yeah. But before that, we have time. I would like you to experience the heart focus breath. Because with the heart focus breath, we are going to experience how we can change our heart rate variability, right?
The heart focused breath. Is that what I heard? Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to guide you to a mini body scan and then the heart focus breath. Okay? I'm going to invite you all to close your eyes. There we go. So just close your eyes and acknowledge your body. If you can, bring your back to straight position and feel the earth under your feet. Now, put your attention in your feet and the energy around your feet. Move your attention to your knees and the energy around your knees. Bring your attention to your legs and the energy around your legs. Feel how the body is starting to let go, to relax. Move your attention to your hips and the energy around your hips. Bring your attention to your lower back, middle back, and upper back, and the energy around your whole back. Move your attention to your shoulders, arms, wrists, and hands. And the energy around all these areas. Start to notice any subtle changes within yourself, within your body. Move your attention to your neck. And the energy around your neck. Move your attention to your head and the energy around your head. Now, I'm going to guide you to the heart focus breath. Focus your attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area. Breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that is comfortable. Feel how your heart expands with each breath. Keep breathing through your heart. And remember, you're changing your physiology in this moment. You are creating a beautiful coherence within the wisdom of your heart. Keep breathing. At the count of 3, I invite you to open your eyes slowly and come back to this space and time. 1, 2, 3. So for everybody that experienced this technique, in my experience, I always feel like my body relaxes right away. And when I open my eyes, everything looks different. And I can feel a better communication between my heart and my brain, because the heart is always sending information to the brain, either in in a stressful way or in a calm way, but it's always sending information to the brain. Now, this can be applied, before your practice. You can do the heart focus breath and then meditation. That's amazing. And then you can apply the visual motor rehearsal, right? Mm-hmm. And I invite you all also with the visual motor rehearsal, which is within the methodology of the conscious musician, to apply it all the time, even for every challenge. Every challenge has to be resolved first in your mind, with communication with your heart, before that doing it, physically.
So you create the habit of doing that. So it's
exactly.
Not just
exactly. It's like, for example, there is a shift
for everybody. Just to kind of not translate, but translate to what we have done before. All these tools are very powerful, but they are not powerful if you only use them in an emergency situation. If you use them in a daily or como una situación cotidiana,
exacto.
Then they become a part of who you are, and they create a habit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's create that habit. What you say is very important. You create a new habit, then you are going to create, the performer you want to be. But it has to be always first, in your mind, in relationship with your heart. And for example, like if I have a shift that didn't work, I'm not just going to repeat it right away, millions of times. I'm just going to close my eyes. I might do a little bit of even heart focus breath, a little bit of meditation, and then see myself making that shift as I really want to do it, with the right sensations, intonations, and everything, right? That is when, the visual motor rehearsal is really gonna have an impact in your performance.
How do you call this? The visual motor
motor rehearsal.
Visual motor
technique rehearsal. That was applied in the 80s by Dr. Dennis Waitley, and since then, NASA and athletes, they use it very much in their own practice, and so it's a very, very powerful. There is a chapter in the Conscious Musician that calls transformation, and this is an important thing because in an unconscious way, we are creating the way we're playing, right? Because of any feedback from, colleagues or teachers, we think we play in a certain way. So we are creating that performer. So to create the performer you want to be, it's important to acknowledge how you see yourself, then go deep into the heart and mind, and then see yourself how you really want to be as a performer. Then you're going to start to create, the performer you want to be. This is very, very important.
So it's three steps from what I understand. You put yourself into the coherence through exercising what we just did. Mm-hmm. That you visualize the outcome that you actually seek.
Yeah.
And by doing this will manifest in the physical way of playing.
Exactly. It's important when you see yourself, like you're not seeing yourself from the outside, but doing the action, because it's two different ways of visualization. Now coming back to your question about how can we be more aware of, when how can we know if we are not coherent, right? I'm going to share the following. So this calls the grid, and I love it. I love it. So the grid, we can see what happens with depleting emotions like anger, frustrations, that they call it in HeartMath our inner battery, right? And depleting emotions, what they do, they deplete our energy, and we go to to the red, right? Mm-hmm. This also is going to have an impact in our hormonal system, right? And in the DHEA. So
what is DHEA?
In this moment, you can Google that, because I don't know, I can't remember the exact name. There is a name for that, but you can just Google DHEA. But it has to be with the hormonal response, right?
Okay, so just for everybody, cortisol is together with adrenaline, the hormone that creates our stress reaction.
Exactly, and that creates cortisol, right? Then we have the nervous system, and what the depleting emotions do, they awake our sympathetic nervous system, right? When we are like in, the something dangerous is happening, our sympathetic system goes up. Now, on the other hand,
which is flight, fight, and freeze.
Exactly. On the other hand, like, oh, there is a passage coming. Oh my God, the passage is coming. Oh no. Then what is happening? We are, giving power to our sympathetic system. Now, on the other hand, the new emotions like care, compassion, love, they're gonna create coherence in our heart, and we are gonna be charged. Our inner battery is gonna be charged, right? And that is gonna create a response with a parasympathetic, which creates, relaxations and all those beautiful oxytocins, endorphins, right? Mm-hmm. Now, very quickly, the grid is very important, and that's an answer to your question. It's important to stop. I think, during the day, just to stop and see, what am I in the grid? How am I feeling in this moment? Am I feeling angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, or am I feeling sad, bored, or hopeless? Mm-hmm. Right? What can I do to go to the right side, to feel enthusiastic, passionate, courageous, or appreciative, calm, content? So what we are going to do, because we have just 5 more minutes, we are going to do the quick coherence technique, which is we're going to do heart focus breath, and then we are going to invite to our heart one of these emotions to create more powerful coherence in our heart. So I hope this answers your question, Alex, but the idea is to acknowledge, how am I feeling in this moment? But really be honest with yourself. How am I feeling towards this situation? Uh-huh. Then I do one of the HeartMath techniques to change my state of being. And when I change my state of being, I'm going to change my perception of the situation. I'm going to change my physiology, and I'm going to be a better performer. So just to end, we are going to go back, and I invite everybody to close your eyes. And with the quick coherence is that we can apply in any situations, even in our practice. When you start to feel nervous because the passage is not coming, just stop. Stop, acknowledge your emotion, and change that emotions to a different one. Remember that you have the power of how you want to feel in the moment. And that emotion is going to have an impact in your heart, in your brain, in your performance. So again, just acknowledge your body. And feel the energy around your whole body. And notice if there is any differences in your body between the beginning of the session and now. Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel your heart is more open? Within the wisdom of your heart resides a powerful connection to your art, your music, to yourself. So I invite you to focus your attention in the area of the heart. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that is comfortable. Feel how your heart expands with each breath. And might be possible that it is a bit easier now than before. Keep breathing through the center of your heart. And as you continue heart-focused breathing, make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling such as appreciation or care for someone or something in your life. To create that feeling, you might bring into your mind a special place, an accomplishment, something that can enhance that feeling. Or just love for yourself, love for your music. You are not just creating a new emotional state, you're changing your state of being. At the count of 5, I invite you to open your eyes and come back. 1, 2, 3. And if you want, before we come back, just cross your hands and put them in your heart, in the center of your chest. And you will feel that beautiful energy that you have created. That's the energy you want into your practice, into your performance. Now you can open your eyes. 5.
That's beautiful. It has this, when you open your eyes and you feel your glands, your view is different.
Different. It's different. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you to you.
And this is a beautiful. Unfortunately, I think you don't know how coherent that is with everything we've done so far. It's an addition. It's like the cherry on the cake,
Yeah,
and it can be interconnected with any kind of meditation,
exactly, exactly.
either as an introduction or even as a complementary. So when you do a meditation that has to do with breath, you just send your breath through your heart,
Yes, yes.
and mhm.
It kind of has, actually, there is a special technique for that, heart lock-in, and that's a special technique you do before any, meditation practice too, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna send you, Alex, the link to the meditation
That
if you
would be
want
lovely.
to, send to your students. And thank you so much.
If you could share with us these two graphs, that would be lovely. The one, the grid.
Yeah, I can share the grid. Just as HeartMath is very specific with that. We can really share. But I mean, I can send it to you, but don't just remember that just to to view it and without printing anything, because they are
Okay,
very
okay, yeah,
particular
yeah. No, I get it.
with copyright. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna send you. I think I'm gonna send you the incoherence one and the grid. Those are good.
Wonderful. Thank you
And
so.
in the meditation I created, I got you to the heart focus breath. So yeah.
Mhm. So as a very short resuming this session, there's much more importance in the heart than in the brain, and the brain is basically a secondary responder to the energy that the heart creates. And this is what I find such a wonderful addition to everything. We are by by education and by a lifelong habit very much focused on what's going on in our head.
Yeah.
And through meditation, you learn to observe that and to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And this adds another ingredient. It actually, you observe what's going on, but instead of keep focusing on this, you just say stop and you pull your attention here, where the actual much more powerful creation happens for the body,
Exactly.
for the physiology of the body.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna create that beautiful balance between heart and brain, and that's gonna enhance everything in your life.
That was my German translation. This is wonderful, Paulina. Thank you so very much. Thanks.
Thank you to
Thanks
you for
for
inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
thanks for being with us, and I hope in the not too far away future we can do this in person.
That would be amazing.
Wonderful. And I will share the link of your book if you.
Yes, I'm gonna send you the link of the graphs, and then the link my book and the meditation. Yeah.
Okay. And your book is available in Spanish and in English. Is that correct?
English and Spanish. Yeah. Digital version. Yeah.
It's an Amazon.
Yeah, it should be in yeah, and Barnes and Noble and an Apple.
Well, everybody, let's thank Paulina Derbez. Thank you very much, and you have a beautiful day.
Thank you. You too.
So, everybody, yeah, this was Paulina Derbez. I know her for several years, and what she does in this area about musicianship and consciousness is quite remarkable. She has developed internationally some very profound relationships, and well, I can mention it's not important for not I mean for prestige reasons or so, but I think it's quite um, something new. This network of conscious universities from the UK, where she has founded basically the Mexican branch, La Red de los Conservadores Conscientes, and of which I am a board member. That sounds always incredibly important. It's basically somebody who's co-organizing everything. The idea of that is to establish that what we are doing here in this course becomes normal content of conservatory or university teaching. And I know I have mentioned that several times to you that this course is for you to experience something which is which is there as an underlying reality of life, but which is actually much more normal than you would think. It is much more normal as an ingredient of life, and it should be as normal as an ingredient of education and of pedagogy. And some of you are going to be music teachers, some of you are going to be performers, some of you are going to be conductors. So it is not just a gimmick to have, it's something very, very essential to be part of, for instance, a master class. I have not taught a single master class since 2012 without adding mindfulness techniques, or at least moments of mindfulness. So um, I'm on a concert tour right now, and been in every concert place with my quintet with M5. I don't know who of you went to our concert on Tuesday. If you did, you know a little bit the dynamics. We always have a masterclass together with a concert. And in these masterclasses, there is usually always a mindfulness moment, there's a breathing moment, there's an energy moment. Anyway, so, and for me, it is very important that you guys are together. I know we could easily have done this as a Zoom session from at home, but it's not the same. So, and we all have been uh, complaining about the 2 COVID years with Zoom teaching, and I think we all have seen how limited the effects to connect are on the screen. And that's why I want you to sit together in that room right now. And I want us to meditate together. And maybe some of you are asking yourself, so how can I adapt this HeartMath idea? Uh, it's not that far away from what you've been doing so far. So just imagine that you breathe through the area of your heart and apply that to the ascension. For example, you breathe through your heart, you think your ascension technique, you breathe out through your heart. Ascension does not necessarily require a rhythm, and it does not require breathing technique at all. But you can play with that. You can play with it, you might like it. If you lose it on the way and you just think your ascension technique, that is fine with me. Um, but I want you to pay attention to the energy around you, to the energy in yourself, and the energy around you, and the energy that you perceive together with your colleagues, with your peers, with your friends, with everybody in the room. And let's sit very comfortably. You can lift your legs. You can lie down if you want to. You can make yourself as comfortable as possible. Then you close your eyes. And I want you to watch in the same way as Paulina has described it, with the only difference to the body scan that she started from the feet and went upwards. So again, be aware of your feet. Be aware of where your feet touch the floor. Be aware of the energy around your feet. Be aware of your legs, your knees. Be aware of the energy around your knees. You go further up to your hips. Be aware of your hips. Be aware of the energy around your hips. Be aware of your lower spine and your upper spine. And be aware of the energy of your spine, around your spine, in and outside. Be aware of your head. Be aware of the energy around your head. And now you take your awareness to your heart. Be aware of the area around your heart. Just be aware of the energy around your heart. breathe through your heart very slowly. You think your first ascension technique. Let it go. Breathe out through your heart and wait. Just watch. Then you breathe in through your heart again. You think your second ascension technique. If you don't have it, you just repeat the first one. You breathe out through your heart. And then you breathe in through your heart. You think your third ascension technique. And you breathe it out to your heart. You let it go. And you're aware of the space right after you let it go. After you let the breathing go, after you let the technique go. Just watch. Don't expect anything. Just observe what's there. And I want you to play with this for a while. you to focus again the area around your heart. Be aware of it. Be aware of the energy around your heart. Slowly breathe in through your heart and watch the space in front of your closed eyes. Breathe in and out through your heart and imagine that breathing is the entrance to the space in front of your closed eyes. The next time you breathe in through your heart, go deeper into this space and think your first technique. Watch the space. And then do the same with the second and with the third technique. And then you slowly open your eyes. Imagine they would be still closed. Be aware of this moment. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of the energy around your heart. Be aware of the energy within your body. Be aware of the energy around your body. Be aware of the energy in the room. You can stretch to let your fingers, palms up, stretch your arms. Lite och yawn. And you're ready for the day. Play with this. Add this to your daily playtime. And as Paulina mentioned today, when you have a concert, when you have a class, when you have a lesson, when you have a rehearsal, the 5 minutes before, get used to use this. Get used to use the HeartMath. You can do the HeartMath with a breathing exercise, like nostril breathing. And so on. You can do the HeartMath with the body scan exercise, if you like that. You can ascend with the HeartMath. It's something that adds to everything we're doing, and The important thing is that you now, which is like the active part of applying these things to our playing. There are more and more concerts coming up in the semester. Some of you have concerts, graduation concerts, or you have ensemble concerts, chamber music. Some of you play in the student concert on November 29. So attach these things to your preparation process. Don't just do it on the concert day, do it on a daily basis. And next week, I want you all to bring your instrument and we're going to do some playing together. Okay? Have a beautiful day, and I hope you have a good weekend. And just do it. Whenever you feel you're accelerated, take 5 minutes, come down, come back. And then from that energy, you apply, from that energy, you address everything else you have to do. Okay. Take care. Peace.